start the video, going live. We'll do that. We're on the air at 27085. That's where we are at. If you're listening in channel 11, 27085, the video stream is up and running. I do believe we are streaming at oldtuberadio.net. I think I've got the right video up. Yeah, it looks like it's pretty good. We will be checking your comments there. We'll be taking your Tube Radio check-ins as always over right here on Channel 11. There was some Australia, New Zealand, Hawaii skip about an hour or so ago, but nothing else, and that seems to have gone away. I am back here, and it is all good. So let me grab the SWL list, and we will begin. Did I mention that this is your old Tube Radio Network, Real Radio's Glowing in the Dark, something that has been happening on this frequency, Channel 11, since the mid-1980s, where a group of us got together and still get together to talk about, talk with, and key up, or is it keyed down, on our tube radios. The shortwave listeners join us. They might not have radios, but they enjoy the conversation, and to find out a little bit about these devices, we somewhere along the line added an audio stream, which you can catch at oldtuberadio.net, and a video stream, which has a link right there to the YouTube video, which I think is actually happening right now, and the rest is history, or a reasonable facsimile thereof. We start the net with a directed net roll call. The shortwave listeners will do the tube radios after that. And I keep messing up my microphone here. I'm gonna destroy the place before it's over. And Charlie is saying, mention your shirt. Oh yeah, we were out bowling. Jingle Singers, myself out in the red limousine, and that's why everything is so hectic here. We got back late because we were having such a good time, and I have not been able to jump into the seersucker suit and remove my bowling shirt. So we'll talk about that later. Let's go. We're looking for SWL 00.
00 checking in.
All right, sounding good. Let me get the proper item up on the SWL check-ins. Put in the 0 and give it a check. Thanks for starting us off, Wayne, and I will get you on page 4.
What week are we on there, Dennis?
That is a good question. Thanks for reminding me. This is week 8. Week 8 out of all the 8 weeks. So you have perfect attendance. So it looks like you'll be in the running yet again. But you have done a good job these last 8 weeks. Over.
Okay. I know my 00 rain is over tonight. Thank you.
Yes, we'll see what happens, but 00s go for the 8-week roster, and then what we do is they gather all the people that had perfect attendance for the last 8 weeks, starting in way back in July 2nd, and they get thrown in some type of little hopper thing, and then I will draw out one of them to continue with 00. Actually, long ago, 00 was reserved for the FCC commissioner, so you're in good company. We would sometimes try, in air quotes, to contact the FCC commissioner and get an on-air comment or something like that, but we have since ceased to do that so that we don't get sued by somebody. And, okay, they're talking about the bowling shirt. I want to get started here. I'll explain the bowling shirt in a little bit. Let me get through to the SWL roll call for a while here. But, yeah, they've got the little bowling guy up there. That's pretty cool. It looks pretty awful. So, you know it's a bowling shirt. All right, over to SWL number 1 from the Cosmic Check-In for one of the guys that dreamed this thing up ever so long ago. The other guy that did it is right here, Mr. OBP. Is over on the video side, so say hello to Mr. OBP. Kevin should be out there, and I think he said that our conditions for skip are not that great. Let me check the QSL, the DX map. I think it's right here. Yeah, look at that. We've got one little spot somewhere, looks like in Utah or Idaho. There is nothing going on the West Coast. Can I go back? Now, even where JT was tonight, I bet there wasn't much skip on Old Radio Night, or at least the band has changed. So we'll see what happens as the evening wears on, although we were hearing Hawaii and Australia for a little bit there. Let's go to SWL3, SWL4, and we jump over to SWL7.
Good evening, OTR, OBP, and all the SWLs. Number 7 checking in.
And sounding good. I've got the X in the square, or as they said last week, I'll put the square in the X. Thanks for checking in.
Hey, Dennis?
Hello, radio.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and listen to that crap, so y'all take care. I'm going to go back. See ya.
Okay, it's super weak here, so. All right, thanks. You are a good 10 over and sounding good, and we will get you checked in. Over to SWL10, where I don't think we'll have conditions tonight, but the conditions are always good at oldtuberadio.net. Chrissy, 10 and 30 checking in. The Dolphins are jumping, so we know it's a good thing. Thank you. Hope you had a good day, a good week up there, and I know our temperatures have been 104, 105. It was supposedly 107 today, and I know up where you're at, where it typically isn't that hot, it has been warm, so hopefully you're staying cool. Moving up to SWL 13, Michael, Mr. Cobra, who is on over at oldtuberadio.net, checking in. Roger. Mike, I see you there, and the X is in the square. Thanks for joining us. SWL 14. SWL 16. And Charlie is right here and saying, okay, he's pointing to the shirt. The bowling shirt, like I said, I went with the jingle singers and people out to the bowling alley today, just got back in the big red limo. I had to find a bowling shirt. This is from the TV station. It's probably, I don't know, 40 years old. There's Action News, Channel 30, where I used to work, the little bowling guy up there, and somebody said, is there anything on the back? That's a good question. I don't think so. Here we go. There is, no, there's nothing. There's no team name. They put the logo, on the front. And yeah, there's a pocket. Charlie said there's a pocket, so with that in, thank you. All right, they think of everything here. I don't, this pocket probably isn't big enough to try. I'm trying the pocket protector. Oh, it fits right in there. Well, that's even more nerdy. Is it possible to have a bowling shirt with a pocket protector? All right, let's move on. Thanks, Charlie. I feel like I'm in uniform now. Let's go over to SWL 17. SWL 18, Mikey, I will get checked in from the Facebook side. He is out there doing what he normally does. Over to Chet, SWL 19. I do see Derby, New York, Belfast, Maine. And Chet joined us at the bowling alley today. He throws a mean hook. And that... It says on the cue card, show your ball. What are you talking about? Oh, I know what you're talking about. Wait a minute, give me that. Look at this. All right, there. What does he mean? It says, show your ball. All right, I know what he's talking about. Here, you can have that back. Where is it? Oh, it's down here. Who put it in here? All right, so this is the official OTR bowling ball here, and they used to be black, and they used to be made of rubber. And now they're these, beautiful, some even smell like, I don't know, strawberries and stuff. But that's the official OTR bowling ball here. And there it is. This is like 16 pounds. All right, let me get out of here so I don't break anything. And we are good to go. Thank you, Chet, for checking in. SWL 19, let me get you checked in officially. All right, I'm never going to get through the roll call here. And I mess up my headphones when I stand up. So don't add pictures to radio, everybody. Does that look better? Am I presentable now? Let's go to SWL 20. Hello, Harvey.
I do have the schematic for it, but I'm not sure, and I don't want to just plug it in there. So if somebody out there has a 5B2, 5 Bravo 2, or just the Model B, CPC B Bravo, I appreciate if they could list the AC cord situation for me there. And that way I can get them done. I'll be selling them, so I have about 6 or 7 of them, the International Crystal Radio. So I'd like to get rid of them there. Alrighty. Thank you, Dennis. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you. We got those numbers, and we will reiterate that again when we come around to the Tube Radio time. So thanks. It sounds exciting, because it is exciting. International Crystal Manufacturing, always some nice, interesting, not run-of-the-mill radio. So it'd be nice to get the pieces and parts for that. You are checked in. Let me do yet another crazy thing. SWL 21, Mr. JT out there in South Carolina, the Osama Swamps, and I went over to the video here. Let me see if I can call it. I'm seeing myself over again. So let me bring up the audio from old Radio Night. So it'd be nice to get the and we are in the wacko loop. We are in the wacko time loop. JT, if you can hear me, say something. When the loop comes around to you, go ahead and say hello, radio. Say hello to the SWLs here on the West Coast. South Carolina, the Osama Swamps, and I went over to the video here. We got to wait for the loop to come around. I'm seeing myself over again. So let me bring up the audio from old Radio Night. So it'd be nice to get the and we are in the wacko loop. We are in the wacko time loop. This is going to be if you can hear me, say something. When the loop comes around to you.
Yeah, hello, Dennis.
Hello, radio. Say hello to the SWLs here on the West Coast.
Hello, everybody out there. 21, waving a hand.
I'm seeing myself. Okay, we got you checked in. This is a West Coast to East Coast link. Nobody else does this. It's broadcast on YouTube, and it's being transmitted on CB radio simultaneously and at the same time. Yeah, there's the second loop around. Okay. Whew. All right. Thank you, JT. He does old Radio Nights with various. Tonight it was, what was the thing? It was the realistic radio and some reverse type of preamp. And if there's any reason there would be skip, JT, DD21 will find it. Okay, I'm trying not to blow stuff up here. Did I get 21 checked in? No, I don't even have them on the screen yet. So there's 21. There's a check-in. Let's go to SWL 22.
You bumped your frequency knob.
Oh, yes, I did. You know, I was tuning in Harvey on the sideband to get rid of the heterodyne, so let me move back in. You know, we'll be able to see that. Here's another thing that's going on. Let me put that up. And the link, oh, there it is. You can see it. Let me jump into that. The link to, you can see me get on frequency. There it is. It's going all over the place. And OTR control finally makes it. Let's see if we've got audio from that. It's going all over the place. And OTR control finally makes it. Let's see if we've got audio from that. All right, so there's the audio from I don't even know what it's called because the name doesn't display. So, Larry, you'll have to jump in and tell people, or at least on somewhere, tell people how to find the local stream SDR, where you can actually hear what I'm hearing and see even more.
I can tell you right now.
Yes, you can. Go ahead.
It's called the Old Tube Radio Network SDR View, CB Channel 11. And then the date.
And that's on YouTube.
2022.
And that's on YouTube, so you can check out. You would have multiple YouTube things going, and we will be checking in tonight when you join us with the radio, see what's happening with that. So that's a great service that Larry is providing. All right, back to the control room. And now, because we're still on page, let me try some other technical wizardry, and I'm going to head over to the Echolink link and see if we can't roust up Mr. 23 Skidoo, KB6GFD.
Just coming big, but not big enough.
Good evening, Dennis. Hello to all the SWLs out there. 23 Skidoo, KA3TEB coming at you here from the coast of California near Santa Cruz. How are things over there, Dennis?
Things are great. We had another over 100-degree weather day. I think it was the peak. Tomorrow's only going to be like 103. So I imagine where you are cool, calm, and collected, and collecting seashells or something like that over.
Well, you got it pretty close. We're about 60 degrees here. We were a little overcast today with some fog. When you guys get the heat, we get the fog. And people don't seem to mind that cool weather here versus the very hot interior. Hey, just a quick plug while I can. Over here on the Central Coast, big things are happening radio-wise. We've just completed our 4th Classic Radio Roundup on Friday evenings, Channel 21, 27.215 AM. And we've got quite a few check-ins of radios from the 60s, even through the early 90s. All are welcome, and when the DX is in, stop by and join us on a Friday night, 9 p.m. West Coast time, Channel 21. Over.
All right, got it, 27215. There are enough SDRs around, somebody might be able to find one of the Kiwi SDRs in that area. They're on the coast near Santa Cruz, and jump in on 27215 and SWLN. Sounds cool. Glad to see that the radio is still alive and kicking, and people are getting back on the air. All right, thanks for the check-in, thanks for the update, and we will talk to you next time, somewhere, sometime. KB6GFD.
73, have a great show. KA3TEB.
All right, back to the roll call. What do they bring me here? Is it, it's like Gatorade again. Gatorade is okay. Let's go to SWL 24. I did get 23 checked in. 24, let's go to SWL 25. SWL 27. A lot of the stations that have like 27 and 25 exterior radio shacks that where you, before you enter, it might be 100 degrees, probably are going to wait until, you can see the sun is gone down. We are past the gray line, but it's still way in the 90-degree weather out here. Let's go over to SWL 28. And I've been so busy pressing buttons here, I haven't looked at the scroll chart to see what's going on, but I will keep an eye out to that to see what's going on. Gary is in the Central Valley. He's in like the north part of the valley here in California, and it's hot there as well. And he even says he's checking in his 3 words, hot, hot, hot. And I will add a 4th word to that, very hot. Or maybe that's 2 words. Thanks, Gary. You're looking good. Hope you are staying cool somewhere. We've got a check-in for SWL 29. We've got a check-in for SWL 30. Dwayne, you are good to go. Over to SWL 31. Comment, go ahead.
Yeah, I had to turn off the audio on the stream. There's too much music, so it's just video only.
Okay, I get you there, and that is probably also going to be a problem here. We will see what happens, but that has caused an issue before, but you just never know. You just never know. SWL 33, that's myself checking in, Bozo Control, and all the items of interest here around the old Tube Radio Network.
6 VLF.
Over to SWL 34. Did I see Railroader? Yes, Jimmy is in. I am going to find the less than stellar train whistle. Actually, the train whistle is nice. They have a better one. This one is just... It works, though. Here we go. Here we go. Wait for the compressors to come back down to earth. All right. Good deal. Thank you, Jimmy, for jumping in here where it's very late. Hope you got a lot of good stuff done this week. I know you're a busy guy with all the Facebook pages going on, but you've got to check out, and if not all of them, many of them, like the old tube, especially the old tube CB radio network. That's my favorite. So, all right, thanks, Jimmy, for checking in. SWL 35, Mr. Bill, who stopped by earlier from cool Cheyenne, Wyoming. 35 is in tonight. Looking good. Hope all is going well out that way. Let's go to SWL 36. SWL 37.
SWL 37 here, Dennis, and good evening and everybody.
All right, good evening, Chris. You are sounding good on the radio. Thanks for stopping by tonight here on the Old Tube Radio Network.
No problem.
Over to SWL 38. And I will check, because I thought I saw Sam in there. Yeah, Sam is jumping in on the video chat side from Byron down the road and to the left or the right a little bit, I think. Let's see, and the not checking in tonight, that would be Cornbread. On the definitely checking in tonight, that would be, drum roll please, Dapper Dan. All right, so we've got Dapper Dan checked in. Of course, Cornbread is not checked in. I even got a new eraser. I got a pencil with a new eraser so I could actually erase Cornbread's check-in. Let's go over to SWL 39. SWL 40.
SWL 40 checking in on the crossband, K6VL.
All right, from the crossband radio. And we'll keep an ear out to see if things are behaving. Let's go to SWL 41. Road Dog 507. I'll have to check. I bet there was some early check-ins that I may have missed. I got a few of them, but I will go back and see where they are. So, yes, we are bowling. Who said that? We are bowling for check-in. GSW. You are correct. We are bowling for check-ins tonight with the official bowling shirt, and the bowling ball that's around here is still around here somewhere. Show your ball. All right, it's the show your ball tonight on the Old Tube Radio Network. Let's go to SWL 42. SWL 43.
Break channel.
Break channel. Go ahead. Over.
Dennis, did you get that early check-in for me?
If I didn't, I got it now, and it is now official across the universe. Over.
Well, I did it earlier with Joe and Robert 111. I'm going back in the house to have a few more cold ones and celebrating baby girl, grandbaby, 7 pounds, 6 ounces, 20 inches long at 7:06 tonight.
Wow. Brand new. Very good. All right, you have some celebrating to do. Thanks for jumping in to say hello, radio, or was it goodbye, radio? You'll be checked in, and enjoy, and congratulations.
10-4, and if Mark can't hear you up there, epoxy him in. Somebody playing music.
All right, yeah, something's going on out there. I will do that. We'll see what happens.
Good day.
All right, and let's see, 43 is in. Let me go back and officially put the check in for SWL 41. Of course, the CB Radio Club in Orange, Ulster County, React, Hudson Valley. Saying good evening. I've got you in there, 507. Okay, 42, 43, SWL 44. Who sounded really good on the Ditch Banks sideband net the other night. I've got 360 checks in. Let's go to SWL 45. Hello, Paul and Kelly, over. Might be there. We'll have to sneak in between this stuff here. Over to SWL 46. SWL 46?
46 checking in. Good evening, Dennis.
Good evening, Steve Areno. We're putting the X in the square. Thanks for joining the Old Tube Radio cacophony tonight.
Thank you, sir. Take care.
Let's go to SWL 47.
Good evening, sir, from the Radio Lounge. This is SWL 47, where we just got back a short time ago from watching E.T. actually in a movie theater. First time in like 40 years since that's happened.
Wow, and I think there were two versions. There was the original first version, which I saw. In fact, that's back in the day when Fresno did not get the first run movies. They didn't get Star Wars, they didn't get E.T., and you had to drive to either San Francisco or L.A. to actually see it when it first came out, which we did, a group of us did. And I know there was a re-release that I never saw. I think that was part of the TV version. So I don't know which one you saw, but that sounds cool. Back in the day when there were drive-in movie theaters, I think the last one was over where Costco used to be. They were just kind of placeholding until they could bulldoze the thing down. Sounding good. All sorts of things happening on Frequency tonight. Hopefully you will be able to rejoin us when we start glowing in the dark. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you, sir.
Direct Internet Roll Call is where we are at right now. If you're watching the video, that's the live stream on the local SDR showing some pictures. If you're watching now, that's the guy behind the microphone here at 27085 Channel 11. And we will be checking in your radios coming up. So if you've got them, warm them up. Let's look for SWL 48. SWL 49. SWL 50.
50 checking in if you can hear me. Somebody's playing music on top of you.
Okay, no, you sound good. All I hear is you, and you are checked in over.
Well, good deal. I guess I got in just the right time.
This is the right time frequency. Thanks for stopping by. From near Sangertown, 305. Dave, I saw you on the board here a few moments ago, so we've got you checked in. Thanks for stopping by. Sounding good on the Ditch Banks sideband net last night on 36 lower. I gotta remember what channel I'm on and we were on. Let's go to SWL 52. And let's see, and then another station. I'm not sure if he's in FRES capital N capital O. SWL 53, Bob the Legend, who I believe needed an early check-in, which we will do. Or at this point, it's a late, it's an early check-in late. SWL 54. Doing the paperwork here. We're still very analog over at the Old Tube Radio Network. I'll get a cosmic check-in for 54. Up to SWL 55. SWL 56.
Good evening, Dennis and the net. 56, just for kicks.
All right, SWL 56. Phil, Grandpa has been checking in for almost the full time we've been doing this thing, so he's heard everything. He knows it all, what will happen here on the Old Tube Radio Network, and like us all, he goes with the flow. Thanks, 56. Let's go to SWL 57. BDA, Brown Dog Audio, is checking in on time and on Who's to say that? Checking in on time and on frequency. I can never say that because, well, I can say I'm on frequency tonight because I have proof. Where is it? I have proof. Oops, that's not where we want to go. I have proof. That's not where we want to go. I have proof that I am directly on frequency right there, thanks to Larry. All right, Brown Dog Audio. Let's go to SWL 58. I will get a proxy check in for Jeremy, who's always a busy guy, and he's going to surprise us all and pop in somehow, some way, on time and on frequency. Over to SWL 59. Fresh from his appearance over at the old Radio Nights, way over there to way over here, Uncle Hairball. Thanks for joining us. All right, let's go to SWL 60. Hello, Joe. I bet you can hear me.
Oh, loud and clear, Dennis. We want to say evening time to the fellows. Dennis, we want to check in our 2527, the Galaxy, old Jake Space.
All right, Jake Space. That's what I've got logged in here, the DX 2527. To Mr. 291. We've got the X in the square.
Thank you much.
And who's from beautiful downtown Burbank? Oh, GSW, X Burbank. Yeah, we'll do a little Gary Owens here on the beautiful downtown Burbank. Burbank Boulevard, home of the General Radio Telephone back in the day. Let's go to SWL 62. No, I'm sorry. Let's go to SWL 61. Over.
61, check it in, Dennis.
All right. You know you don't wait all that time and put your ear to the speaker to have me skip over your number. You are sounding good, and I got you checked in.
Thank you, Dennis.
All right, 61 there, Mr. Copenhagen, way out somewhere, always sounding good. Let's go to SWL 62.
Break OTR.
And the break OTR, go ahead.
Yeah, Dennis, 53, the legend checking in late.
Hey, no problem. I got you on the list. I wasn't sure if I missed you coming in early, but I didn't miss you coming in late. You are checked in, sir. Over.
Stand forward. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
All right, 53 is in 62. Out there in North Dakota. King Duckford is in. Thanks for joining us tonight. Over to SWL 63. Shortwave listener 64. SWL 65. SWL 66. Got a proxy check-in for SWL 67. Got an early check-in for Michael out there in New York, SWL 68, New York 157. We've got you checked in. SWL 69, I'll have to check. Kenny probably stopped by, but I missed him. But if he didn't, he's probably watching right now. And Kenny, if you take a look right up there, you are checked in. Thanks for joining us. SWL 70.
Hello, Dennis. 70 checking in. I can barely copy you, but 70 checking in over.
All right. Thanks for waiting. Thanks for standing by and waiting. You sound actually pretty good here in Midtown. I haven't heard you for a while, so it's good to know. I hope everything is going well on the ranch and the antenna projects to be completed. All right. Thanks for checking in. And I want to refresh my comments over on the .net page. We will be looking for, and there is a big contest. It's like the CQ Worldwide. I don't know what it is. There's There's definitely a contest going on. SWL 71 Stan out of Dallas, Georgia is with us, checking in. NAQP, North American QSO Party. Is that what it is, North American QSO Party? I was listening 40 meters early. I didn't hear a thing. But I didn't check in on 20, which is probably where everybody was. Stan says he thinks he's worked more California stations than any other state. Oh, and for information, he got an email yesterday that it is 6 weeks until the Cal QSO Party. Hope their bands are good then. It's been today. All right. Well, that's I like the Cal QSO Party. That's when you're just sitting there and the stations are looking for you. It's like the easiest way to do a contest. If you don't contest, or not a contester, or haven't contested, your state's QSO Party is always easy, and it's easy to do. Okay. Thanks, Dan. And I think I'm going to be around the radio tomorrow. Maybe I'll tune in. 15 was probably bad. Maybe 20 or 40. Maybe 20. I'll listen in on 20 and see what's going on. See if we can give you some more California QSO. Just say, oh no, not another 6 guy. All right, thanks for the report. Over to SWL 72. SWL 73. SWL 74. And let's see, Foxman 362. Dennis, I'm sure you've heard of Don Carter. Yes, indeed. Mr. Don Carter. I've been one of his bowling allies. Wow, in the Don Carter lanes in Kendall, Florida, back in the mid-'90s. And I'm sure back in the mid-'90s, the early '80s, '90s, when ABC was actually putting on bowling every single week, which is a great show. I watched that. All the great things with Mark Roth picking up the 710 and the gutter ball and the flying eagle, Pete Weber's eagle falling off the statue. I never had the Don Carter ball. I had a Dick Weber ball, but I didn't have a Don. And I don't know what this is. I had a Johnny Petraglia. My first really good ball was a Johnny Petraglia LT48. Let me tell you. Well, good deal. All right. Yeah, I was 30-something years doing the California tournament here, and you know what? I'm still lousy. Show us your ball. I know. I see. You still doesn't know how to bowl. All right. Thanks for that update. Let's go to SWL 75. Hey, there's Butterbean, SWL 73 or SWL 63 out there in North Georgia. You were probably Butterbean. I know what happened. You were watching old radio night. And you saw that loop, that thing going over, and you got hypnotized. And for a while, you didn't know where you were. But you are here on the Old Tube Radio Network. So, we've got you checked in. Over to SWL. Let's try 75 again. SWL 76. Nelson Burton Jr., the best ever announcer for anything. He knew all the players. He knew exactly what was going on after they threw the ball, why things happened. Just a great gentleman. And I remember when he bowled 7-something, sometimes he would be in the tournaments, and if he was actually cashing in, he had to step out of the air chair and onto the lanes. Let's go over to SWL 77. Got a note to Proxy in 77, which I will. Over to SWL 78. How are things in Wild Wildemar? And JT says there's another simulcast going on with OTR from Boston, Radio DX1. It's a YouTube channel going on right now. So if it's still going on, if we're still doing the loop from here to there, I'll say hello to Radio DX1, the northeast corner. Yeah. And this is the Old Tube Radio Network. We are here in Central California. We have been doing this on the air. What is this? We have been listening for and talking about the CB tube radios since 1985 or so, every Saturday, and we will be checking in some of them coming up. And it's good to know that there are all sorts of these get on the air radio items happening. And because of it's the 21st century, a lot of them are happening online everywhere on your Universal Media Network. Pretty cool. Let's go over to SWL 79. SWL 80. And I'm trying to do the best I can to get up to the radio area. Let's see. It is time now, is it not? Yes.
27.085 OTR Channel 11.
For the copyrighted feature of the Old Tube Radio Network, where we join Bob and Steve somewhere in Ohio, but often hanging around the QTH here at Old Tube Radio Network and making sure that it is a good place for all, and it is. Let's get rid of me. Let's see the meters, what we're seeing, what's happening on episode 129, the Old Tube Radio Network for August 20th, 2022. It is some official radio day, or International Radio Day. Something is going on with Radio Day. I'll see if I can find out about that. I Googled it and it said it was in February, but all other indications point that it's a radio day today. There is a winner finally for the Mechanical Bull's new name. I'm afraid I walk around. I don't even go through that room where the bull is anymore. It kind of scares me. But the names were voted on by a panel, and the name is Sue, S-U-E, a bull named Sue from the Johnny Cash song. Yeah, a boy named Sue. We got a bull named Sue. Lieutenant Rogers from the fire department is the winner of the $100. He's a great guy. And a night on the town, of course, courtesy of Bob and Steve and the big red limousine. We thought he should take and the policemen and firemen with him. Okay, so maybe we're going to need the whole limousine service. They all deserve that for what they do. I agree. The big red limo was busy. It was. For everybody. Took us to the bowling alley and back. A private person took care of it, not to be named. All right, thanks to the anonymous donor. At the bar tonight, at Dobson's Bar and Grill from San Diego. Who's been there before? I haven't. I was in San Diego, but I don't think I was there. They will be serving by the pavilion ribeye asada, grilled ribeye steaks, Swiss cheese, guacamole, marinated onions, and tomatoes. And of course, you can join us during the net, after the net. It's always open because we don't want you to forget to feed the fish, right? Don't. If you know it's good.
27.085 OTR Channel 11.
Back in a second. All right, I'm going to blow up the equipment before I even get started here tonight. You know, this is kind of a comfortable shirt, and I don't have to worry about straightening my tie. This is kind of a goofy, it's a bowling shirt. What can I say? Let's go to page 4, SWL 81. Getting us started off, we get Steve Reno checked in. Over to SWL 82. I think he's taking the night off. There may be some racing thing going. There's probably something going on that he is doing that keeps him away from the air chair tonight. That's okay. He's a busy guy. He works very hard. So he needs to have some play time. Let's go to SWL 83. SWL 84. And I will get 84 and 86, 87, and 88. That's the Cheerios Kid, the Mountain Maid, Tandy Girl, and the Snowy Owl. Listen for Jerry, SWL 84, occasionally on the weekends, or on the week or the weekends, over on the noontime net on 7204 here on the west coast of 40 meters, and maybe elsewhere depending on where the conditions are going, although the conditions have been pretty awful on 40 lately. SWL 89. I hear someone way out there. Is that a break for OTR? I hear the Eagle King up over. All right, does anybody hear the audio from that station? Over. All right, I don't know. I hear the ping, but I cannot make out the audio. So if it's not Skipland, we're glad that you're on a tube radio. That's what it's all about here on a Saturday evening. Let's go to SWL 90.
Breaker. Hey, Dennis, that was 45 checking in with the Eagle.
All right, 45 on the Eagle. All right, I don't know why I'm having so much trouble hearing him normally, especially if he's on a station like the Eagle. I hear him super duper loud. All right, thanks for the 5 on 45. I will get him checked in. Yeah, Paul, if that's you, it's way down in my noise, and that is very unlike any radio up there. So I will take a look at my knobs and dials and make sure I'm not doing something wrong. All right, because my noise level is an S3, and you're right in the noise, but the ping is there, the audio is there, nice and clear. I just don't have a big signal, but you are checked in. We're on the directed net roll call. I got 45. Let me head up to Felix, SWL 91. All the way from the Bronx, I think, somewhere. He's saying hello to all the SWLs and old tube radio operators, of which there are many, from wherever they might be tonight, whether it's in Kakalaki or in Boston or here on the West Coast or listening in from somewhere. Get on the air, right? Get on the air before you do something else. 91 is in. Let's go to SWL 92. All right, let's go to southern New Jersey, right? That's Sal C., who is on the radio tonight. I think I saw him scroll by my window. So, Sal, if you're there, we'll get you checked in. Popcorn 913, providing popcorn, well, let's see. Usually Albert and the gang are on the balcony. So if you're on the mezzanine tonight and don't want to walk down into the green room, see Popcorn 913 for a gratis bag of his special mix. Let's go to SWL 95. Warthog 95. Let's see if Dennis is out. I know he was around for the other nets. SWL 96. All right, going to have a good weekend so far. You are sounding good and got you checked in over. Thank
you, Dennis.
All right, and thank you, Dennis. And that wasn't an echo. That's the real thing. Let's go to SWL 97. That's Jim over there in Boston tonight. There is SWL 95. I missed you. I'm not looking at the right spot. WR4B checking in. Orlando, Florida. How could I miss Orlando? All right, we got you checked in 95. Let me go back and make it official up in the left-hand corner. And I will say hello to Tracy, SWL 98. That's probably not hearing me through the noise tonight, but we will get you checked in. All right, before I go any further, let me just take a moment to say hello to some of the stations. There's 98 checking in, because there's a lot of things, a lot of stuff going on here, and I don't want to miss it and see what's going on. I think we said hello to Cornbread. Yes, indeed, we did. GSW is out there. Rusty Rails is there tonight. Private Thor, don't want to forget that. GSW is also watching and listening in tonight. Hello to Adolph, Colorado Springs, checking in. Colorado Springs, when the bands open up, sometimes you can hear the Mud Duck net control out here. Foxman 362, of course, looking good and sounding good. Eric D is in, listening in. John, hello to you. We chatted with 23 Skidoo live and direct. Sean from Sanger, give it a shot. If the Mark IV is ready to go, keep it warmed up, and we will be listening in. Neutral observation, UDX 382. We got you checked in. Levon, the off-the-shelf radio. And yeah, you are to say Fresno, even though we don't even whisper it anymore. It's okay to say it. The FCC does not send us notes saying don't do that anymore. Let's see, Justin from Radio 2 Net Shooting Star. He's out there in the state of Virginia. Old Tube Radio Net is waving from Virginia, and it's been very hot here. Triple digits this summer. Yeah, likewise here, but you guys have a lot more humidity than we do, so it gets kind of yucky for sure. Steve UDX 483 doing the mud bucket thing. Thanks for joining us tonight. Just trying to see who's out there before we go any further tonight. We'll be talking with the Tube radios that Dave, we got you checked in. So I hope some of them will be checking in tonight. It's super hot here. Sometimes you don't want to sit in front of a hot radio when it's 100 degrees outside. Caller Radio, thanks for checking in. You're looking good tonight. Alex is in. Alex, where are you at? Are you down in Southern California? Oh, no, you're in Fresno. Alex in Fresno joining us. If you are got your CB radio, you should be able to hear us direct at 27085. That would show up as channel 11. If you got a scanner, you might be able to tune it down and tune us in on the FM. It'll sound a little funky, a little scratchy, but we will certainly you'll be able to hear us. So let me Rayovac. I missed Rayovac. Getting a recharge here on the Old Tube Radio Connection network, and I agree. I wish we had some conditions. Back to the roll call. Let's go to, before I turn the page yet again, SWL 78, I see Richard checking in. And he's where it is cool. Smart guy up there in the less than 70-degree weather up there in Washington. We've got you checked in. Page 4, a roll call. Let's go to SWL 100. I'm checking Echo Link because sometimes the South Carolina Tony will check in over there. I will give Tony a check in. Over to SWL 102. That is John there in Arkansas. And he is right there checking in. What is that? Is that balloons? Pineapples? I see the balloons. I don't know. Sometimes these icons, these memes, throw me off. Let's go to SWL 103. Shortwave listener 109.
Good evening, Dennis. Crawdad 109 checking in.
109. Sounding good. Heard you on the Ditchbank sideband net. Sounding good. Thanks for being patient. It's probably counting the time. It says, I know, it's coming up 90, 95, 98, and it's finally get there. I like the audio, and whatever you're doing, the audio sounds great. Keep it up.
Thank you, Dennis.
All right, big station AM and also on sideband here, beaconing across the Central Valley and beyond. And it's been on, Mr. Crawdad has been on checking in on OTR for a long, long time. Let's go over to SWL 110. SWL 111, you heard Robert in the mobile radio right here in Fresno, driving through to say a few good words to all the gang here. Sometimes we don't hear him too well out there in Meadley, or he doesn't hear us. We usually hear him pretty good. So 111, you're officially checked in.
Hello, Dennis. 111 checking in from home.
Yeah, all right. You're sounding good at S4 above the noise with some decent audio here in the Old Tube Radio Network 73.
Hey, I chased that music all the way down 180. It got
Sanger. Oh boy.
Yeah, we had a couple stations down that way just kind of check in remotely because of that. So anyway, I think the wind direction changed and we're all good now. Anyway, you're sounding good. That's 113. I will get Tom checked in. He checked into the Early Risers net on Friday. And we'll be talking to the guy that hosts a couple of those coming up here in just a bit. So, Tom, you're checked in if you're listening. The guy that for the last 8 weeks, including this week, has been getting us started off at the top of the net, Mr. Rickshaw, 114. One more time.
114, checking in.
All right, back at the home base. Sounding good, and we got you checked in.
Check. Thank you.
All right, let me go over to 128. And if I didn't refresh my page... Yeah, John is in just a couple of minutes ago, showing up. If I didn't say hello to Albert and the boys in Squamish, BC, let me do that now. You will occasionally see them, whether it's on the balcony, the mezzanine, down by the pool. They tend to get around. So say hello to them, won't you? 128 out of Fairfax, Virginia. We've got you, John. Hope all is well over there. Over to SWL 131. Mr. Rude will probably come in at some point when the weather gets nicer, when it gets a little cooler here. Let's try SWL. Dave always braves. He always braves the hot weather to join us on the Old Tube Radio Network. SWL 133.
SWL 133 checking in. It's 98 degrees in the shack.
Yeah, I figured it's going to be a little warm in the shack, but it's probably... Well, it's not 98. It could be 88 in here. I disconnected my thermometer because I didn't want to see what was going on, but it's a little bit cooler in the bowling shirt without the tie on. Anyway, you are sounding good. Thanks for joining us, and you are checked in. SWL 135, I do believe I will proxy in Mr. Green Arrow. SWL 137.
Hey, Dennis.
This is the basic Dennis, over.
Hey, you jumped right over me, man. 131.
All right, let's go. I apologize. Let's go back to 131. Mr. Rude, I will give you a reason to make your handle correct. All right, 131 out of Clovis Town. Sounding good here on the Old Tube Radio Network. 35 is in, 37 is in. Okay, let's head up to 145. And I mentioned our local Tony up in the hills, and he is... Oh, no, he's gone. He was on, he was on the Echo Link, and I see that he is checked out. I was going to go over and check with him. He had a couple of great questions on the Friday morning net. I always get the answers wrong, but I end up learning about amateur radio, things that I did not know anything about when he does the net. All right, there was a station there, but your audio is distorted. Try it again. All right, heard a station, but the audio had some distortion to it. Let's go to SWL 147. That's Neil Kakalaki out there. He's checking in. Good conditions all week. But today, he said, was dead quiet. And it was mediocre here. And I think that's due to the weird solar conditions, cycle 25, trying to figure out what it wants to be. The weather is nice, of course, early autumn. Maybe until you get that 100-degree weather and wreck it all. 73 from Dr. Jazz in the Carolina Sandhills. Thank you, Neil. 147. We skip and jump over to SWL 188.
Good evening time, Dennis. Good evening time to all the SWLs. 188 checking in.
All right, here on your Old Tube Radio Network, Snow Beats, the X is in the square. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Evening time.
All right, and I've got, do I have an echo tonight? Maybe that's just my headphoniums. All right, the wacky mix isn't up too high, so I don't want to drive people nuts. Let's go up to Course Gold for SWL 195.
195, checking in, Dennis. You sounding good up here.
All right, when you are an official mud duck, so I don't have my mud duck badge on, you try harder. And, of course, you've got a great receiver up there, so always appreciate you stopping by the Old Tube Radio Network. Thanks.
Thank you, Dennis.
And Alex says, how can I check in? Well, Alex, the fact that you are over on the video page and you are right there, you are checked in here on the Old Tube Radio Network. If you are in Fresno or the local area, which I think you are, and you have a CB radio of any type, doesn't have to be tube, as long as it can dial into channel 1127-085 when the net is on, Saturdays from 8 to 10, jump in and say, break OTR, and the OTR will say, go ahead, break, and you will say, this is Alex checking in, and we will make sure that you get on. Actually, you will be on the stream and everywhere else. So, Alex, you are checked in. But if you're local, get on channel 11. We'd like to hear you. Let's go up to SWL 226. That's Mr. Shockwave. And he was in Ditchbanks last night, I do believe. So I'll get him checked in, and anybody else before I jump around and we try and get some tube radios here. And 23 Skidoo, that's what I should have. I should have the Browning Drake. That would complete the Mud Duck trifecta for sure. Let's see, what else do I want to say? Anything? We got stations building AML. I wish I had a 3CX 20,000. All right, I'm going to stop talking for a bit. We're going to set up to do the tube radios. Hopefully we can get a few check-ins here from very warm Fresno. And we will be back with your radios on the Old Tube Radio Network in just a moment. You're listening to the Old Tube, or should I say the Old Tired Tube Radio Network.
You may not find us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
All right, wow, they are. You guys are loud in the headphones. Let me turn the headphoniums down here tonight. The Old Tube Radio Network, real radios glowing in the dark. Thanks for joining us, and hopefully we can get a few tube radios checking in tonight. My name is Dennis. If you've joined us on the video, we are going to be chatting with the glow-in-the-dark radios, and at this point in the program here, I'm supposed to populate the pocket protector, which fits well into the bowling shirt. Action News, ABC 30. That's a place that Net Controller used to frequent. They used to actually pay me to show up there. Not in the bowling shirt, maybe. All right, tonight, Sylvania, thanks to Rogers TV, located at 215 North 147th Street in Bismarck. Wow. I wonder if King Duckford knows these people. Rogers TV in Bismarck in the 701 area code. Where's the less than stellar close-up camera? And there it is. You'd think a TV guy would have good cameras, but no, we don't. We don't even have a good radio. All right, in the pocket protector it goes, and I will say OTR is standing by listening. And I hope I can hear somebody tonight. Somebody was trying. Who is that? All right, I think that's 45. All right, something must have happened to my antenna because you are just way down in my noise level. So is there a coax switch or a bad jumper somewhere? Actually, you would know that. Somebody already heard you, or you would have indications somewhere on the radio or elsewhere that there was some wacky SWR going on. So let me stand by. I will keep listening. If indeed something changes on my end or your end that will allow me to hear you so that I can actually have a conversation. Yeah, it's just strange. I have an S3 noise level and you are just below the noise level. And 30 checking in. Better late than never, yeah. The Old Tube Radio Network listening for radio number 1. Oh, somebody said, where are the jingle singers tonight? They are here. You know, they jet set around in the limo, but we require them most of the time to be here at the net control on a Saturday evening so they can do this.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? Greetings to you, wherever you are. For music and the latest news from home and from afar, the station for you is
OTR, Old Tube Radio.
The station for you is
OTR.
Hey, 45, you're sounding good now. Can you hear me now? Over?
Oh, yeah. I hear you just fine. Don't ask me how I'm here, but I'm here. I'd like to check in my Browning Golden Eagle Mark II Series B.
All right, no, you're sounding good. Good audio, and I mean, it was good before, just your signal has come up out of the mud. So a good way to get started. And even the ETC, a special trucking company, says, I wish they could all be Golden Eagles. Well, we are starting off that way tonight with the Mark II Series B. And I think that's the one that I don't have a picture of. But take a transmission, because we like to hear it, and tell us about it. Tell us about it. Over. Okay, no, I can hear you fine. The signal came up 2 S units, and that brought you well out of the noise. You've got plenty of audio. In fact, if you turned up the microphone on the Eagle, you can probably turn it back down, because you've got plenty of signal now. Over. All right, is good. We're looking at the picture. Almost looks like a comet trail when you key up on the Browning. Looking at the picture here on the 785 SDR. Yeah, it's like a rocket going up at Vandenberg, but it sounds pretty good. The audio is nice. The Mark II Series B. If you can hear me, how many pieces on the radio? I know there's the transmitter and the receiver, but I didn't know if they added other pieces to that radio. Over. Yeah, how many pieces in your radio set there? The transmitter and the receiver, are there other units besides the transmitter and the receiver on that Series B? Okay, because I know they had, before they incorporated everything in the Mark III, you could get some pan adapters or sideband adapters and what have you. So, yeah, you've got them. You just have it a little simplified for this check-in. It is sounding good. I'm not sure if I did something or if you did something, but I can hear you just fine. So if you've got some other radios, you might give them a shot. Over. All right, let me go back to the picture, put up the S meter. Before you go, if you can hear me, what microphone are you running? What microphone are you running on the Series B? Over. Okay, it's got plenty of audio. I was going to say if it was amplified, you could probably even turn it down a bit. But that's basically how I was hearing you before when your signal was in the noise. It had good audio, and I could hear the ping. It just the signal wasn't there. So there you go. All right, the Browning microphone, the 417 model, something like that. All right, made for the radio, and that's what it's supposed to do. You'll get us started off, thanks, with the Browning Golden Eagle Mark II Series B. 4 pieces, and we are hearing the 2, or at least we're hearing the transmitter, of course, and he's hearing us on the receiver. Thanks, Paul. Thanks for doing some extra work to get in on the radio check-in sheet here. Over. All right, that's why we have been here for so long, just so that stations can, and we take the time. We take the time with the radios. You want to check a microphone or whatever. That was the intent, the purpose of the old Tube Radio Network. We're glad that we can still do that for so long. And now we've got stations from all over the place joining in and reminiscing about their radios and getting on the air. Hello, Primitive X. Yeah, this is something we do. We've been doing it more than 35 years, just over the air, and then we started doing some audio and video streaming. Let's see, Alex said he's got an Antron A99 antenna. That's a good antenna for short hops. That's a good antenna for DX. Typically with antennas, the higher it is, the better for the local stations. Sometimes with DX, you're working on skips, so the antenna can be low. But as long as you keep it, on a 10 or 20-foot mast somewhere, you can even have it on the side of the house. It should work for you if you don't pick up a lot of interference from computers and the neighbors. I want to say hello to Hey There Buddy. Good evening. That's Central Maryland, Whiskey Radio 185. We are here in Central California on Channel 11 right now. And this is the Old Tube Radio Network. We are listening for radio check-in number 2. And there's a breakover. And Dwayne, I agree. The Antron A99 is a good starter antenna. Good to get your feet wet. And if you never get another antenna besides the A99, you've got a good antenna. But there are ones that might perform a little bit better for what you may want to do. But for starting out and keeping an antenna, that one works. Who was the break for OTR? Go ahead, please. Hey, yeah, now that the noise, quote unquote, has cleared up, I hear you great on the Eagle. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I'm glad all that cleared out. And Browning Golden Eagle Mark IV is warmed up. Apparently working just fine tonight.
Okay, and I do have a picture of the Golden Eagle Mark IV. I will also, at some point, bring up the SDR. You can see what your signal is doing, but sounds good. Nice audio. So yeah, the Eagles are definitely doing a good thing here tonight. Take another transmission.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I was kind of disappointed last week. Things warmed up. I really wanted to check in. I hadn't got to talk on it in some time. Wasn't able to make the trip. I could barely hear you at all last week. Everything's been excellent tonight. Glad to take it.
All right. Nice thing about the Eagles, they've got, when that ping happens, you've got full 100% plus modulation going on. It sort of alerts people that there is a radio about to take a transmission. Audio is nice. So yeah, the last 2 radios for those listening were not here locally in Fresno. Both Eagles, one up in North Fork, which is in the foothills. I'm not sure what the elevation is there. I think it's 2,500 feet to the north and the east. And then Sean is in Sanger, which is to the south and the east, and not up on a hill. So he's making it through the palm trees, the pine trees, and the power lines that take a transmission. Yeah, in fact, I just pulled it up now. The part that has your transmission is scrolling across the screen. Very nice. You are very close to being dead on frequency, just a slight bit low. The carrier is rock solid. When Paul was on, I think it was Paul's, it almost looked like a comet trail going across the sky. That's got a nice straight carrier hanging in there. Don't see much in the audio, probably because your signal is a little weak, but it's definitely there on the SDR stream. Over. Yeah, and you are about an S4 on the meter. My noise level is about an S3, and I'm going to check tonight. Usually about 10 after 10 o'clock, my noise level increases to S6, and it kind of wipes out the stations that are a little bit farther out. So it is all working well. We will mark you down as radio number 2. You're on the Browning Golden Eagle Mark IV. Where's the picture? It's up there looking in. That radio came out in 1977, and the base price I'm showing for that was just under $900. So that was As I always say, in 1977, if you had $900 in your pocket, you wondered if you were going to buy the used Pinto or the brand new radio. And I think if you bought the brand new radio, you were probably making a better deal. Go ahead and take another transmission before you go, and thanks for being patient and getting the radio in tonight. Sounding good.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm glad the radio's working fine. I hope everybody out there is staying cool and having a good evening. Thanks a lot. I'll talk to you guys next week.
All right, we will be around. Let me bring up, if you're watching the video replay, it doesn't have audio to it, but they're scrolling down the screen is your station, Rock Solid on the Carrier. There's a couple of extra lines, and I can hear the heterodynes, but that could be just some other things going on. I'm not sure if that's generated from the radio or not, but it definitely doesn't affect what I hear with the modulation. Thanks for yet another Browning Laboratories for Radio 2, and the Old Tube Radio Network is standing by. Over to the big list. Let's see who is joining us in the studios tonight. Starting up from the balcony, of course, the unknown SWL, always lurking around here somewhere, he or she. You never know with the bag over their head, right? Also, Reedley, Fresno, Germantown, Wisconsin. As always, always enjoy you staying up late with us tonight, even when it's foggy and 64 degrees out there. I don't know. They're having fun in Milwaukee, but, which is where you might be. I don't know. But Germantown is always a nice place. That's what shows up on the list. Woodland Park, Colorado, been joining us for a long time, always waiting for a little bit of skip to happen. Cycle 25 should be good to us up there. 52 degrees. Nice and cool. Yeah, the throes of winter, or at least autumn, seem to be coming on. The boys from Squamish, of course, always awaiting that chance where they can jump in the mobile radio and check in with us. Partly cloudy up there, 67 degrees. Inez, Kentucky, another regular here on the Old Tube Radio Network audio side. Partly cloudy and 75 here early Sunday morning. We might get to 75 by 6 o'clock this morning. Anoka, Belfast, of course, Louisville, Kentucky, with the more than a season pass out there, 72 degrees. So it's warm. It's warm and balmy everywhere. See if we get some Alaska stations. OTR is standing by and listening for Radio 3.
60, 47.
All right, 60 and 47. Radio number 3, our next radio at 9. My stuff is in the way. 9:29. Joe, step up into the air chair. And radio number 447, who is he's heading to the green room already. He knows the best places to be. We'll catch you in a minute, Mike. Hello, Joe.
Hello, Dennis. I'd like to check in from World Radio Labs, my Hustler base, the little blue box.
All right, not like, what was the gentle blue pill? What was it? That was back in the, COMPOZ. I think that's what it was. Let me find the cool World Radio picture. We'll throw it up on the screen. Ah, yes, big. This is such a great picture, and it's such a great radio, and you have it. You have the only one. You've probably got the only one in California. Take a transmission.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Well, doggone it, Dennis, we are on a Turner Plus 3 Gray Decimite. 8 tubes or 7 tubes? I get confused. We got 8 stations and 7 tubes. How about that?
7 tubes is good. I think when we get to the tube count, there aren't many. There may be some, but I don't know where they are. But there aren't many of the standard Class D sets that aren't homebrew that have less than 7 tubes. I think the CB3A. So that was probably like the Madman months. the amount of tubes you could take out of it was less than 7 things wouldn't work right. There's 9, 10, 11. There's 13 tube radios because they needed an extra tube for sideband, I think for the product detector. But doggone it, 7 little tubes. It's sort of like that, you know, having that car with the 170 a cubic inch engine. And it works well until you want to go up the hill and you got your friends in the back seat. Then, you know, it's a little rough. But I've never had a problem hearing that World Radio Hustler take a transmission.
Thank you much, Dennis. Yeah, the tubes have been going for about a half hour, and things are looking good on this end. No smoke so far. Doggone it, our settings are about where I think we want them, and the audio is hopefully right for this little blue box. Dennis, this has the original microphone. I have it here next to the radio. It's a little blue one that goes with this little blue radio. And this has the hardware, mounting hardware, so if you were in the mood tomorrow, you could put this under your dash.
Yeah, especially if you had one of the cars that were built when this radio came out that had the big dash. Might even have a metal dash with a little padding on it. Got the mobile bracket. And you bring up a good point. That's sort of what Citizen Band was for. It was a mobile unit or a base to mobile. It was, you got licensed. You got the radio's license. You didn't get a license. The radios were licensed. It was that unit, and then you had the base control, whatever you want to call it. Then you had unit 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that's how it was supposed to work. You weren't supposed to be talking to your friends, right? Having what they would call idle chit-chat or something like that. So, but anyway, we're glad that things changed, and we can have a bit of idle chit-chat here on the old tube. And it's not idle. This is good. This is good chit-chat. The Hustler's sounding good. World Radio Labs. Also Globe Electronics, Leo Meyerson, and somehow someone convinced him to go from the big boat anchor amateur radios to some Class D stuff, crystal controlled, and we're glad he did. Over to you. You are Radio 3. Thanks for bringing it by.
Oh, thank you, Dennis. It's always a pleasure, checking this one in here. It's a lot of fun. I could just see this many ways in the car, in the house, or possibly walking around with it if you had a battery, if you could handle the both of them. Thanks, Dennis. We'll be on the site.
All right, before I let you go, I'm bringing up the video here on the 785 video. Yeah, you start out at 27, like 08 something, and it quickly sweeps up, and then it slowly moves in towards channel 11. It almost makes it. And it's a pretty decent, solid carrier. Got some good audio in either side. And there it is. So there's the picture. Looking good. Looks a lot like an old tube radio. And so it's got a little class. It's got a little personality, and then you add your own to it. That's the way we like it.
Thank you much, Dennis, and thanks for those stats. Appreciate it. Yeah, we'll get another one warmed up.
All right, we'll keep the pictures going. Thanks, Larry785, for the SDR. Has he got the audio up? He had it down earlier. Nope, looks like he's still got the audio down, which is okay. So let me go to the control room. Jingle Singers. No, we got. I want to get Mike in the ear chair, so we'll get the Jingle Singers after this radio check-in at, I think it's about 9:35. Are you still copying me? 47 over.
Yes, sir, I most certainly am, and with your permission, I'm going to continue that theme of a great-looking radio that might have been mounted underneath a dashboard, at least of the cars that were made more than just a couple decades ago. This is a Robin T123, no B after that. This one does have the match guide tube, and I do have to say, especially after that other listener, I don't have the mounting bracket for this thing. I've used it on the road more than just a couple times, and it's always a really fun to do on the road. And I think it's probably been one of my, it has been my most reliable radio. But anyways, so it's worked great in the lounge like it is right now, and on the road. But I don't have a mounting bracket for this guy, so that's a bit of a bummer.
Well, you could always. What I used to do, I used to set it in the passenger seat and strap it in with the seat belt, because I had an old car that had the lap belts, not the shoulder belts, but the lap belts. I actually strapped in my I had the FT101. What else did I have in there? My Regency Imperial. I think I did that way because I didn't have them mounted, or I didn't mount them into the Buick, so that will work. I want to say 73 to Alex, who is listening in, who's in Fresno, enjoying the program and is working on putting together his station. So we'll be able to hear Alex live and direct. Check him in. Thanks, boy. We got some great comments and suggestions for Alex, wanting to know what's the best way to get on the radio, the types of antennas, getting some great information from the shortwave listeners. So definitely appreciate that. So on the video, there is the T123. This is not the second generation Panasonic chassis that was so popular. The one Robin before that with the cool Magic Eye tube. You are actually that rectangular square with the two lights, illuminated green or blue, whatever it is, above and the bottom. You're looking to in the side of a tube as it shows your modulation percentage, or your voltage, I would say, and it sounds good. In fact, one of the SWLs mentioning that Robin is sounding good, and I agree. Take a transmission.
Well, thank you for the compliments. I'm sure it's not tuned and peaked and tweaked or whatever. It may sound good. Just don't look at like a SDR measurement of exactly what it's doing. But again, you kind of brought up the main selling point, and the thing that basically made this. I had to have it as a feature on the first tube radio that I purchased, which is the Magic Eye tube. I can't remember what webpage I had found. I'm sure I have it bookmarked, but be careful if you do a little bit of homework on Magic Eye tubes, because it becomes addicting. This is, oh goodness sakes, I always get this confused. 6RE13, I think it is. I always get that and the 6ME5 mixed up. But like you said, it's a vertically mounted tube, and the more I yap into it, there's a bar that illuminates from the top going down and the bottom going up, and the more I open my mouth, the more it closes its mouth. But I'll tell you, there are a bunch of Magic Eye tubes out there. They're just really interesting, peacock-looking tubes. It's pretty amazing, actually. But there it is. This one's got one simple one that seems to be doing quite a bit right now.
It's doing quite a bit. It's sounding quite nice. There's the picture for people looking at the YouTube or over at oldtuberadio.net. That is the cool radio. Before they put wood on the sides, but it still plays well with a nice green color. If you had it in the living room, right by the TV set, so when you're done watching Jackie Gleason or Ed Sullivan, and it was time to turn on the radio and talk. Let me go to the picture. There it is. You're off to the left side of the screen, maybe about 400 cycles low. Your carrier staple, it wobbles a little bit. Doing the I think I can, but once it fires up, it stays pretty stable on that particular frequency. Let's go over. Oh, and some more comments. Somebody saying that the radio is better looking than his first wife. So there you go. And Pittsburgh Estate Sales tuning in, saying it's wonderful. Brings back many memories. Glad I stumbled on this. Have to dig out my ICO 772W. Yeah, we have the ICO 762K, I think, which was the kit. The ICO back in the day, back in the early 60s, late 50s, some of the first radios. And, okay, November India 3 India, I think. I don't know. Anyway, it's good to get some operators like myself that can get. Maybe we'll catch you on 10 meter AM. Bands are opening up. I was on the 10 meter window, just waiting. Nothing going on here today, but we're looking forward to Cycle 25. So, Mike, you're sounding good. The Robin is doing a good job. The picture looks good. Let's go back to you because I'm talking too much. You are Radio 4 on the Robin T123. Make that magic I2 bounce for one more transmission.
Oh, thank you. And I got to correct you. You never speak too much because it's just always delightful listening to you and tapping into your infinite wisdom of these radios. Thanks for letting me check it in. And I think you were talking about a gentleman that was attempting to set up some sort of a shack or get into this. Part of the pleasure that I had was using my what was it, the 108-inch steel whip I think I had mounted on top of my air conditioning unit. It was just fun going from a little handheld 11-meter radio to the small antenna mag mount on top of the air conditioning unit, and then the IMAX I have now, IMAX 2000 antenna, which I'm not even sure. It seems like it's becoming a little more difficult to find. I don't know if that's true or not. But for the person that was, just trying to set up some sort of a shack, enjoy it because it's a fun process. And I look back on those times with great fondness. So, anyways, there it is. Thanks for letting me use this radio, and on that 73 and 37. And good evening, Mike.
All right, 37. Don't go away. You will be next up into the air chair. And yeah, and sometimes locally the bands aren't really active, so it's nice to have a place like the Old Tube Radio Network where you can rely on a Saturday night 2-hour session here to get you at least get the radio checked in or get on the air to say hi, because sometimes it's not a lot like the old days where you go all 23 channels before 40 channels and there would be somebody on every single channel. Wow. But things change. But to put down the phone, yeah, and come over to the radio. And Van Man, how do I forget that Inez, Kentucky, that the Kentucky Van Man is always out there listening. Whether it's on old radio nights or the Old Tube Radio Network or some of those various places that get on the air, try to get an on the air night. My name is Dennis, net controller for the Old Tube Radio Network, one of many net controllers over the last 35 years. We're wearing the bowling shirt tonight. We were out bowling with the Jingle Singers. The red limo brought us back just in time. Speaking of the Jingle Singers, let's hear the Jingle Singers, and then Chris, step up in the air chair. We'll be right with you. You are listening to the Old Tube Radio Network.
How do you do? Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you. Wherever you are, the friendliest station for you by far is known to all as
OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network.
The station for you is
OTR.
The station for you, and maybe even you, the Old Tube Radio Network. Don't have to have a tube radio to join in. Thanks for everybody who's stopping by tonight. We appreciate it. And, of course, our tube radio operators that have been around here. We're in the Central Valley of California area, Fresno, Clovis, Sanger, what have you, and up in the foothills. A lot of our stations were collecting these radios before the days of eBay, when you had to go to the thrift store or you had to ask Uncle Joe. It's like, hey, are you done with that radio? It's sitting in your closet. I'd like to use it. And then you would get stuff that way. So a lot of good stuff here. Okay, let me say radio number 5 might belong to this guy. Hello, Chris.
And hello, Dennis. And Mike, I haven't heard you in a while. Miss those ding-dongs, and I remembered your name. But anyway, I would love to check in my general radio telephone. My Super MC11A, that's the 24-channel version is here with the original handheld stock mic. And yes, and it's a working.
It's working well. One of the many General Radio telephones. Beautiful downtown Burbank. One of the West Coast manufacturers. Who was from? Was it GSW? Somebody said they used to hang out in Burbank back in the day. I think this might have been their last type-accepted radio around 1971 or 72. They did come out with an MC-12 and the prototype. Let me get the big picture full screen. It's showing the microphonium, and I'm doing that on purpose. At the top of the radio. Yeah, you'd think, well, what is that? That's not a D104. That's not a super sidekick. That's just a kind of a funky-looking microphone. That is what Chris is using to give this audio. They build these radios with the supplied microphone to sound good. You didn't need to clip modulation things and add this. You just take it out of the crate and go with it. Give us a transmission.
Absolutely. You know, what comes out of this, people kind of wonder, I'm just going to give them a demonstration. Now, right now, that is totally barefoot right there. You guys all hear the way it is. It's probably going to sound like crap when I do this, but hang on just 1 second. And hello, world. Now you can see what the difference is. This is amplified considerably, but probably not nearly as good.
You know, the signal goes up, but the audio does suffer. It gets a little mushy around the edges, Hofer.
Yeah, see, this is stock. That's why I run it.
Yeah, and Chris is probably about 4 miles from this location, putting out a decent signal, a really nice, solid audio. Let's go back to the picture of the radio. The radio running, do I have a tube complement for this? Yeah, I do. It runs 9 tubes. We're talking about 7 tubes. This is a 9-tube radio. Add a couple of more tubes, just for the heck of it. The ECLL 800 was the output tube, something that General Radio Telephone sort of figured out in their series of radios in the late 60s to give a little boost. Of course, it's got a 12, is it AX7A for the audio and the mic preamp. So they knew what they were doing. They had to compete with Tram and Browning. The price on these radios was typically just around $200 brand new, so it was well below the price of a new Tram or a Browning, and you can hear how well they worked. Well, you can hear how well they work in the 21st century, so you know 50 years ago they were doing good stuff. GSW, I agree, the GRT is smoking. Take another transmission.
Yeah, absolutely on that price. And believe it or not, guys, $17.50 senior citizen discount thrift store.
All right, well, sometimes having that, you always wait to get 21 so you can buy alcohol. But sometimes it's nice to be 65 so you can buy a radio.
I wished I was 65 again.
All right, well, you're doing good. Super MC11A. Oh, you know what? Let me bring up the picture. Take a transmission, and we'll see where you are on the road map here. Over.
I'm out here. You want the address now? We're out here in northwest Fresno. Absolutely. And, and Dennis, he knows what he's doing over there. He can figure stuff out where I can't.
Yeah, okay, there it is. You got that little fish hook going on. It keys up. It moves up on frequency. The carrier's nice and stable. It doesn't wobble once you key up and key down. I don't know. I got to talk to Muttermouth Mall. Did we key up or did we key down? Got a nice straight signal, a little bit low on frequency, but it's nice and stable. Looking good, and you got some good audio on either side. But we knew that already. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Dennis. This is it for me. I'm going to go in here. I got to watch some TV if you want to call it TV. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here, Dennis, and I thank you for being there. I'll still have this on and listening to it. And like I say, Mike, it's nice to hear you out there. I haven't heard you in a while, so it's good. Be good out there.
Indeed. Yeah. Did someone say Fresno? The old tube radio network, sounding good. Anybody else? I've got an archive. I think they said I've got an archive blast from the past. All right, let's take a pause here. Archive blast from the past. This will be from 10 years ago. Is it here? I don't know where it is. They're telling me. Okay, where? Okay, all right. They've put it up in the machine here. This is an archive blast from the past. I hope it plays okay. And who is this? Tell me who this is. I think it is I think it's Grandpa. I think this is 56. Anyway, I'll shut up and we'll play the... This is from 10 years ago, almost to the day, here on the Old Tube Radio Network.
Rico Taylor.
I see that break and raise you another Radio 6, 56. Go ahead.
Well, thank you, Dennis. I'd like to, obviously, this is a Browning Mark Dose radio.
Wow. I think it just got its second wind. It's been pinging and keying up quite nicely, and then all of a sudden in that transmission, the audio just got louder. It just kind of came to life. So...
Yeah, this is the Browning Golden Eagle Mark Dose. Well, this, again, is from the Radio Kitchen. This is an amplified D104 microphonium, and the radio has the optional wood cabinet.
Oh, it does. Are both pieces using the wood cabinet, or is it only on the receiver?
No, if you ordered from the factory, the radio, it would come without the tins, without the sheet metal covers, and it would come basically naked, and the wood covers, two pieces, of course, and the wood cabinet would encase both the transmitter and the receiver.
Okay. All right, so it would nestle them together. And does the wood case have some type of ventilation or a hole cut in with a screen or some way where it's vented through the tops or sides?
Well, there is no bottom to the wood case, and there is no back to the wood case. There are top and side, and there's a finished piece that makes it look like it's a one-piece cabinet, which it is, but the radios, the components stand on their own feet. There are no metal casements around the radio, and so the flow comes from underneath and through the back of the radio.
Like the formal dining room position or something.
Optional wooden case. Parts radio? Question mark.
Wow.
No question mark. Not a parts radio, fully operational radio. And Dennis, it's in the fully operational kitchen, radio kitchen here. And with the wood casing, it makes it look like it's a one-piece radio. Over.
Very good. Sounding good. Radio number 6 on our list. Hello, number 3. Back from the event. We'll get any pickups here in a moment.
Wow,
the Browning
from
Golden Eagle Mark II with the optional and very rare wood case, making it the big Browning. Give us another key down, Phil. Thanks for bringing it by.
Well, thank you, Dennis. I'm not quite sure how long these need to hook up, and maybe I move away from the microphone a little bit here or there. I hope this transmission is okay. Over.
Plate modulated, of course, and doing 100%.
All right, very good. From almost 10 years ago to the day, SWL 56 on the Browning, the kitchen Browning, and one of those cool cases that everybody talks about, but nobody seems to have. I will be listening for radio number 6. I guess just got a note that's saying my computer is going to do an update. I thought I turned those off. It says it's going to update in 14 minutes, whether you like it or not. So that gives me 6. So, okay, I should be able to get out of here in 10 minutes because last week I did an update after the net, and it's messed the computer up for 3 days. Something is wrong. So I specifically did not do any updates, but it seems like it wants to do that. So we will get anybody that likes to check in, and we'll get out of here. We're listening for Radio 6, and thanks, Phil. I don't know if you're listening, but we enjoyed it 10 years ago. We enjoyed it right now, the Old Tube Radio Network.
60.
All right. Yeah, let's jump in and get our Radio 6. Give us a transmission and tell us what you got here at... Where are we? About 9:54, somewhere in there. Over.
Dennis, you are listening to my Robin 123B, and you're sounding awful good on the external speaker because, doggone it, the little light's telling me it's on. We're getting a little bit of modulation, not a whole bunch, I doggone it would like to see that light a little brighter. But I think we're around 11 tubes, 23 channels, and about 10 extra channels. We're on a D104 hand mic.
All right, the Robin T123B, a little different from the one we had earlier. And yeah, it's doing that audio thing again. Let me put the picture up. Let me see. Carrier looks okay. This one actually starts high in frequency, goes low, and then stays right in. Carrier looks good. But it's almost like there's a bad battery in the microphone. But this happened last week, and I think the week before. So there may be some type of contact somewhere in the audio circuit, the microphone, that is not happy with that radio. And keep an eye on the modulation light. You might see it get nice and bright, and then maybe it won't. And when if it looks like it's a little bit dim, that's what's happening. We're actually hearing that. But I think everything else is good. So don't be afraid to take a transmission. And let's hear the T123 Bravo. Over.
Thank you much, Dennis. Yeah, you know what? It could be the radio. This is a different microphone. We've switched it already a couple of times. And, yeah, it could be in the radio. It could be down for a tune-up. We'll have to get old Uncle Harvey to take a look at her and make sure everything's okay.
Yeah, when you said make sure everything's okay, super loud, not muffled. The other part of the transmission, a little bit fuzzy around the edges. It might be one of those things where you got to turn the radio off, and plug it, and pull each tube out and put them back in. I don't know, just to make some contact. I'm just guessing here because the radio is working fine when it's there. The audio is there, it's nice and loud, and SWL10 Chrissy is in Idaho going, hooray, Joe, says you just made my evening with the Robin T123B, the nice green machine. So we'll overlook a little bit of audio malfeasance. Over.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll take all that into consideration, and Chrissy, hello. I'm glad we made your day. Yeah, okay, we'll get on out of here. I've got one more burning here, and I mean burning. Ready to go.
All right, yeah, let's get it in. You are Radio 6, the Robin T123B. It is doing a good job, and like I said, I'm going to try and get out of here before I go to some computer update, and my noise jumps in. So I will be ready. Next one is Radio 7. It will be on our list. We'll be listening here on the Old Tube Radio Network.
How about this one?
Yeah, let's take that one. You are loud and clear for Radio 7. Over.
All right. The Browning Golden Bagel R68T68, the one with the spotlight and the variable RF gain setup, and with an unamped D104.
R68T68, the radio after the first Eagle. This is the Golden Eagle. I think this should be the first one to have the flying eagle across the speaker, right?
That is correct. This is the first one with the eagle, but does not have the on-the-air light on the receiver or the transmitter, because it's got a spotlight on the transmitter, an orange light that says spot. Sometimes I have to say out spot, out, like that. But yeah, so it's the setup without the on-the-air light.
Hey, there you go. All right, but it's sounding good. Nice, clear audio. There's the picture coming down from the 785 SDR, which you can actually check into if you go to YouTube for those stations that are out of state or out of area here. It keys up, it moves frequency just a hair, comes in maybe 200 cycles low, and is nice and straight and looking doggone good. So it is all there. playing well. And refresh my memory, this is the Beagle or the Bagel?
This is the one with the sweeter ping. This is the Bagel. Yeah, I've got one more to go. And then I'll be done tonight. Let Joe get in there. Yeah, this one's a tad low on frequency. I haven't tuned it lately. Oh, and on my Crystal Executive radios, I'll probably be selling about 5 or 6 of them. And if I can't find the power supply plug for the B and or the 5B2s, I'm going to take a shot at it, see if I get lucky. But I've got enough power plugs for all the radios, and I've got some original microphones, but not all. So some will come with mics, some won't. But anyway, they'll be priced accordingly. Anyway, I'll turn it back to you. And I don't think there were any questions, were there?
No, I believe we are doing good. I also have to try and get out of here. I think I'm going to have a computer update, which will crash all the video. And I don't have my local noise coming on yet. So far, so good. Radio 7, the Browning Golden Eagle, the Golden Bagel, the R68, T68. Thanks, Harvey. Sounding good. You're getting some good comments from our SWLs. And oh, Harvey, say goodbye to Dwayne. He has to go.
Where are you going, Dwayne? Pick some potatoes?
No, he's an important, busy guy. He has got people to see and places to go tomorrow. So it's late there, it's late here. And he needs to get up early, so we appreciate him being there. All right, let me say hello and goodbye to you. And I think Joe has one more radio, is that correct?
Thank you a lot, Harvey. I didn't mean to cut you short or anything like that. Hey, Dennis, my blackface, Johnson blackface. This is the messenger, the number 2, T-double-O.
All right, the Johnson Blackface Messenger 2. I just got a thing saying I have 4 minutes. So we'll try and get this done in 4 minutes. It's not going to happen. So if I go away and crash, that is why. All right, there's the Messenger TWO. Let me get the full picture. Joe has got Radio 8 here a little past 10 o'clock. Take another transmission, Joe. It's working. It looks good. Sounds good. Over.
Thank you much, Dennis. Doggone it, we won't burn any more of your time. I think we're somewhere around 10 tubes, 10 stations, and everything is pretty well set. We're on a D104 desk mic, gray bass, and that about does it for me, Dennis.
All right, I am glad you stopped by. Radio number 8, the Johnson Messenger TWO, a good seller for E.F. Johnson through the 60s up until 1968 when they made the 223 out of that very radio. Let me head over to Harvey. Are you there with another radio?
Roger. The Golden Beagle. Woof, woof. Browning Lavatories with the custom D104 with the medallion on the back of the head of the D104. Anyway, that'll do it for this one. You need to update. Don't want you to disappear.
Yeah, well, it's going to do it anyway, and then when hopefully it will come back. Harvey's got radio number 9. The Browning Golden Eagle R68 T68 Beagle. All right, let me go to the jingle singers who need to officially do this, I think.
You're tuned to
OTR. Channel 11.
right here in
Fresno, California.
Stay with us
Old Tube Radio.
and be modern.
As modern as you can on the Old Tube Radio Network tonight. I was just counting up the SWLs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's on page 2. I think we had a pretty good shortwave listener tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I should say a shortwave listener night tonight. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You know, they have computers. They have computers to do this, but I don't have them. So we've got 28 and 45. We got 73 shortwave listeners tonight. This is week 8, so we will be picking another 00 from next week. Radios, we had 9 total. We had 4 Brownings. It was definitely a wish they could all be Golden Eagles. Radio number 1, the Browning Golden Eagle Mark II Series B. Thanks, Paul, for being patient tonight and getting all that checked in. Then we had the Browning Golden Eagle Mark IV from Sean, who was also patient, trying to get us checked in, or trying to wait to get checked in because of all the noise going on, but it was a good thing. Then we had the World Radio Labs Hustler radio from Joe, SWL60, and that was a good radio. Always, that's a popular favorite. Mike on the Robin T123 with the Magic Eye tube. Chris came by with Radio 5, the General Radio Telephone Super MC11A from beautiful downtown Burbank. The Robin T123B. 2 Robins tonight. From Joe, radio number 7, the Browning Golden Eagle R68 T68 Bagel, the E.F. Johnson Messenger TWO Radio 8 from Joe, and Harvey came back for the Browning Golden Eagle R68 T68 Golden Beagle. So if I didn't say it, have a good evening, a good rest of your evening, everyone. If you are somewhere, get on the air. Whether it's here in Fresno for the Old Tube Radio Network or wherever you are at. We will be back next week for the Old Tube Radio Network. Thanks, everybody, for stopping by. Yeah, you don't have to have an old radio, but it helps if you want to get on the list of lists. There's going to be an update. Things are going away, so thanks for joining us here on OTR.
Thanks a whole bunch there, Dennis.
And thank you, everybody else. The Old Tube Radio Network looking good and sounding good. Thanks to... Oh, and there it goes.